All right, this is it, Faithful said. Have you experienced this? And does your life and conversation match up with what you say? Or do you place your faith in words or the things you talk about, but not in the truth and without a care for how you act? If you are so inclined, please answer me on this, but only say what you know the God above will say is true, along with what your conscience can justify. For it isn't the one who commends himself that is approved, but the one whom the Lord commends. Besides, to say you are one thing when by your conversation and lifestyle all your neighbors tell you that you lie, this is a great wickedness. Talkative blushed, but he recovered and said, "You now focus on experience, conscience, and God. I didn't really expect this kind of discussion, and I am not inclined to give an answer to such questions because I am not accountable to you, unless you've taken it upon yourself to be my examiner. However, even if you decided to do that, I would refuse to make you my judge. I do wonder why you decided to ask me such questions." "Well," Faithful said, "because I noticed your eagerness to talk and talk, but then understood you had no basis for your words. It was nothing but speculation on your part. Besides, to tell you all the truth, I have heard that you have a reputation as a man whose religion is based solely on talk, and that the way you live makes what you profess nothing but a lie. They say you are a spot or stain among Christians, and that religion suffers because of your ungodly conversation and lifestyle. Some have already stumbled because of your wicked ways, and more are in danger of having their faith shipwrecked because of the way you practice your religion. For your religion involves meeting at a tavern and promotes qualities such as covetousness, uncleanness, swearing, lying, making friends with worldly people, and more. The proverb that describes a harlot is also true about you, that she is a shame to all women. In the same way, you are a shame to all genuine Christians." Talkative's lips turned down at the corners into a slight frown. "Since you seem quick to listen to what others have to say about me, and to judge so rashly, I can't do anything but come to the conclusion that you are an irritable or depressed person who is not fit to carry on such a conversation. So with that, I say farewell." Christian came up to Faithful and said, "I told you how this would end. Your words and his lusts could not agree. He preferred to walk away from your company than to reform his life. But he is gone. So let him go. The loss is his, and he has saved us the trouble of breaking away from him. For if he had continued to walk with us, he would have been nothing but a blot on our reputation. Besides, the apostle says, 'Separate yourself from such people.' Therefore, come out from their midst and be separate, says the Lord, and do not touch what is unclean, and I will welcome you." 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Faithful nodded his understanding. I'm still glad we had this opportunity to have this short discussion with him. Perhaps he will think about it again. But even if he doesn't, I have spoken clearly with him about these matters. So if he perishes without the truth, I am innocent of his blood. Christian agreed. You did well to speak so frankly with him. Very little of this faithful dealing with men happens these days. When it does, it often makes true religion a stench to many who are nothing more than talkative fools. That's because their religion is only in word, and their conversation is morally corrupt and proud. And with so many of this type being admitted into the fellowship of the godly, they confuse the world, blemish Christianity, and grieve the sincere. I wish all men would deal with such impostors as directly as you have done. Then perhaps they would be made more agreeable to the truth. Either that, or the fellowship of true Christians would prove too hot for them. Faithful said, how talkative showed off all he knew at first. How bravely he spoke. How he presumed to drive down all before him. But as soon as I talked about the work of grace within the heart, like the moon that's waning, so he too diminished and faded. And it will be the same for everyone unless they know the work of grace in their heart. Thus, the two of them walked along talking about what they had seen along the way. It made the way easy, which would have otherwise proven to be tedious to them, for they were now making their way through a wilderness.